welcome to the Carnivore Revolution YouTube channel. My name is Jessalyn, and as you guys probably know, I've been doing the Lion Diet for the month of January. And a lot of people have been asking me if I'm concerned about my cholesterol. And my answer is no, I'm not. But hey, I get it, I'm not an expert, so I decided to talk to someone who is and get their opinion. So here's my conversation with heart surgeon, metabolic health expert, and author Dr. Philip Ovadia. Should I be worried about my cholesterol?
No, there's really no reason to be worried about your cholesterol. It turns out that there is probably very little relationship between what we eat and our blood cholesterol levels ultimately.
What about blood pressure?
This should be, if anything, an improvement for your blood pressure. Eating that type of diet and specifically elimination of processed food and processed carbohydrates will, if anything, improve blood pressure. And if you don't have high blood pressure to start with, there's no reason to think that eating like that is going to give you high blood pressure.
What does cause heart disease?
So, what causes heart disease is ultimately what we call multifactorial. There are a number of things that contribute to it. Cholesterol probably plays a part in that process, but I don't believe it's what starts the process, and that's what's important. So what starts the process is damage to your blood vessel lining, and that damage can come from things like high blood sugar. It can come from toxins that might be in things like cigarette smoke. It can come from a number of other factors, but inflammation, insulin resistance are the things that ultimately start the process that leads to heart disease.
Why do so many people still believe that cholesterol is the villain in this situation?
I believe that it's a combination of marketing from the drug companies, and it's also a reflection of our medical philosophy, essentially, that we need to treat things with drugs. And we have drugs to lower cholesterol, and cholesterol plays a part in the process of developing heart disease. So we've pushed, what we can do with drugs. The reality of eating, the food that we eat is the primary driver of heart disease is harder to communicate and, quite frankly, harder to profit off of. So that's why I believe we have such a focus on cholesterol.
Why aren't you concerned about the profits that you're making from heart surgeries and things like that? Why isn't that your top priority?
Well, because my top priority is to help patients any way I can. And, I'll be fully transparent. When people come to me for medical advice, of course, I profit off of that. That's how I make my living. I also make a very good living, being a heart surgeon. And I guess the unfortunate reality is that I know that business isn't disappearing anytime quickly. As much as I try and help people and I want to spread this message of preventative health, the reality is that there's going to be plenty of heart surgery for me to do for a long time. But ultimately, my goal is to help people as best I can. And what I have come to realize is that I can help people a lot better if I keep them off my operating table than by operating on them.
So there you have it. That is why I'm not concerned about my cholesterol eating only beef, salt, and water. Dr. Ovadia is going to be on our channel again next week with Serena and I to do a longer interview to go even more in depth into this topic. If you have any questions for him regarding cholesterol, heart disease, the Lion Diet, the carnivore diet, please leave them in the comments below and we'll be sure to ask him. And don't forget to check out his book, Stay Off My Operating Table. I'll link it below and we'll see you back here next week.